To talk more about the implications of the move by France, I'm joined live by Professor Lawrance Davidson, who's a professor of Middle East history at Westchester University. Professor, the new opposition bloc is quickly gaining considerable international support. Which other countries will join France in officially backing the group?
Well, I suspect that any number of European countries will do that, and perhaps more of the Gulf countries as well. It's interesting that the French have this sort of quality of jumping the gun, and I think they initially represented or recognized the National Syrian Council, the ones that they've just abandoned. And I'm not exactly sure why the French do this, but clearly they've got this thing down to a pattern.
I mean, how representative of the Syrian people can this newly formed coalition actually be?
Not very. I mean, I don't know if any of these groups can make a true claim to be representative of the Syrian people. We know from verified reports that, in fact, there's real problems on the ground in terms of the behavior of the rebels, and that they are essentially, or perhaps are, losing popular support in the country. So to make that claim is, I think, rather brazen. But of course, it's a political claim, and it's a propaganda claim, and a cover for the growing support that they'll get from the West.
Professor, I want to go back to what you said about France. You said you don't know why France actually took this stance. If we look back at Libya, we also saw France recognizing the Libyan rebels, opening the way to foreign intervention. Are we seeing the same thing unfold now with Syria?
It would appear so. I'm not exactly sure what the politics in France is that leads them to do this, but it very well might be that the pattern will lead into others coming in. I'm not sure about the United States, but at some point, if this group can demonstrate to the American government, at least based on their own criteria, that they've got some sort of governmental cover or governmental pattern to them, then they might get arms.
The French president said he wants to be sure any weapons Paris sends don't end up in the hands of Islamists. Are there floodgates about to open for official arms sales to the rebels? Well,
the floodgates have already opened. I mean, it's just unorganized and uncoordinated. So there's obviously plenty of arms in Syria. Probably they're not of the caliber or they're not tanks or something like that. But there's plenty of arms in Syria, and I think that the Americans and the British perhaps are very much afraid of replicating what went on in Afghanistan. And so they want to see some control exercised by this new group over the rebels' operations in Syria. I'm not sure that this group has that capacity.
Well, let's leave it right there. Professor Lawrance Davidson, who's professor of Middle East history at Westchester University, thank you for your time.